Well, hi everyone, good morning. You may have noticed over these last few days that the Christmas carols I've been talking about were all written over 150 years ago. But you know what has been happening with these old Christmas carols is that modern Christian bands have been giving them a bit of a woof, but without losing the deep meaning of the carol. A Christmas carol is most often a proclamation about Christ. And you could say singing Christmas carols to people is a little like evangelism and song. The Christmas carol I want to speak about this morning was also written a long time ago. In fact, it was written by a pastor whose name was Edmund Sears, and he wrote it in 1849. And the Christmas carol is "It Came Upon the Midnight Clear." Now, Edmund Sears originally wrote it as a poem, and a year after he wrote it, another chap called Richard Willis put some music to it. But this Christmas carol is quite remarkable because it doesn't focus on Bethlehem, but rather it focuses on the issue of war and peace, which was really very relevant in Edmund Sears' time because there was news of a revolution in Europe, and the United States' war with Mexico was still fresh in his mind. When the angels first sang about peace on earth and goodwill to all men, the shepherds must have wondered what was going on. They certainly didn't hear angelic choirs every day. And the first century Palestine was hardly a peaceful place. The streets buzzed with rumors of revolution, and the tension often boiled over into violence. You know, society was split along the lines of gender and race and wealth and religion. Kind of reminds you of the world we live in today. And the shepherds themselves were only a few rungs above beggars on the street on the social ladder. For some of us, Christmas itself is a time to be with friends and family. But for others, it reminds us that we are alone or separated from loved ones. You know, many people in the first century were really expecting a quick fix for the world's problems. And of course, that didn't happen. But you know, that still hasn't happened. But Christmas reminds us of God's promise to bring in a kingdom where wars and injustice and even death will be a thing of the past. And in that place, we will live together with God. That's our hope. God does have a plan, and the best really is to come. But in the meantime, God continues to show his love to us in so many ways. He provides for our needs. He answers our prayers. He invites us to start living today like citizens of the kingdom that has not yet been fully revealed. You know, we can still love one another as Christ loves us here and now. We can show Christ's compassion and Christ's unconditional acceptance to others today. I said earlier that many of these old carols had been given some pizzazz by modern Christian bands without losing its meaning, and this carol is certainly one of them. The band Mercy Me does a great rendition of this carol in their album, The Christmas Sessions. Well, I downloaded it yesterday on Spotify, and when I say goodbye to you all this morning, I'm going to get another cup of coffee, definitely another Omar Rusk, put my earphones on, and turn up the volume on this carol. If you found these morning devotionals helpful, why not share it with a friend or a family member or maybe a colleague? You can also find these devotionals on our Instagram page, GraceHill Hillcrest. You can share that page with others as well. Well, thank you again for allowing me to share your morning with you. I trust you're going to have a great day, and may God bless you.